have a success. Okay, yeah, like you're following these like smoke columns. Everywhere you go, there's like a lot of plants, like way more than there should be this time of year. There's like flowers everywhere, lots of like dense overgrowth. It's like unseasonable like plant life. And it's like on fire or smoldering when you get there.
Oh, okay. And are we there yet, or do I need to make more
No,
rolls?
you're only halfway there.
All right.
It's now noon. Make your roll.
Yeah, roll like sixes.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
fortunately,
Oh,
she's rolling lower.
You want to roll
Yeah.
higher though. You want to be higher.
Yeah.
17.
You can do it, Marcus.
Come on.
That's a
fight, Lady
fail
Jen.
for her. Okay, yeah, you think you're getting pretty close here.
Lady Jenna.
It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Critical.
Okay, you got a critical. You find the prey at once at the end of this segment. Move to the last box and go straight to the kill.
We don't want to kill her though.
Alright, once the prey has been found, avoidance. So she rolls her avoidance versus you once again. She fails. So,
You can't fail.
here's what happens. You, like, come over a hill. Like a grassy, super grassy hill. With, like, very tall... Like, the grass is like 1.5 feet high, which is crazy for this time of year. It should only just be sprouting. And you find this, like, circular field surrounded by, like, thick, deep forest trees, but the field is completely flat and covered in flowers, all of which are currently blooming, and, like, they're all sending, like, their pollen seeds out right now, and, like, the whole field is just, like, this beautiful floating array of, like, things going up towards the sky. And Jenna is standing in the middle of it, with her hands out, and there's, like, a wave of flame coming from her hands, and she's, like, burning the field napalm style. And you guys, like, come over the hill to that scene. She has not noticed you. She's just, like, screaming and, like, setting things on fire with her hands and turning clockwise. So she'll be able to see you very shortly as she continues turning.
So the Lady Jenna is apparently a sorceress flamethrower.
What?
Didn't see that coming.
Well, yeah. Do we have to save against insanity?
What's the courteous thing to do here? Turn around and pretend you didn't see her.
Does anyone have knowledge Fae?
That was my uncle.
This
Let's
isn't technically
try.
this isn't Fae at all. I mean, her magic is just magical. Like,
Can I try knowledge Fae to see if it'll help at all?
I mean, you could learn what it's not.
Yeah, okay, let's do that. I can learn it's not Fae. Apparently I won't learn that.
Yeah, you think that there could be some fairy involved with this? Maybe she's like
Is
half
there
elvish?
a skill
Perhaps there's
involved with knowing
more.
anything about what's going on magically?
Not really, no. None of you have studied or learned anything about magic.
Okay, well,
Do we have to roll to save against insanity at this
No,
point?
there's nothing insane about it. There are magic casters throughout. You escorted Merlin multiple times.
yes. So
Would
He
the
they're not
casted magic on
necessarily
you
evil.
constantly.
I feel like we should make ourselves known. It doesn't feel very courteous to spy on her like this, especially when we're about to be revealed.
I feel like when you say that, she turns
Let
and
us
sees you.
ride forth and ask her what she does here. We're not hiding.
Okay, yeah. So this is what happened. You say we should announce ourselves. She sees you as she's turning, and then you start riding towards her, and the flames are like, woof, and they turn blue, and she's like got her hands up. She stops like using them, but her hands are like covered in blue fire, and she's holding them like defensively towards you, and she's screaming something at you.
Can I hear what she's screaming?
Make
I
an
mean, if
awareness
she's
check.
screaming, I should be able to hear it, right?
You guys are kind of far away. I mean, she's in the middle of a field of flowers. Make an awareness check.
Oh, I actually succeed for once.
Okay, give yourself a check there, because that was pretty important. Anybody that rolls it and succeeds gets a check. Does anyone have speak Irish? Or
Wait,
read Irish.
She's not Irish.
No, she's not.
Why is she speaking Irish?
What is happening?
She knows that we do not speak Irish. Why is she yelling at us in Irish?
I don't know that she would know that.
We have grown up with her for a long time. She knows what language.
No, I mean, that's like saying you know what languages Hillary Clinton speaks.
I have spoken to her on many occasions.
Okay, maybe
she knows what language
maybe.
to talk to.
Maybe you, but what about the rest of the party?
We've all grown up in her court for 18 plus
Yeah,
years.
but there are hundreds, thousands of knights. Come on, man. She's
yes,
speaking Irish.
And she knows which people in her court speak one main language.
I think you're severely overestimating how much a noble might know their other folks. So she's speaking Irish, no one understands it.
Speak the language of her home territory when she's speaking to knights of her home land?
She's not speaking your common language of English towards you right now, no. She is screaming Irish towards you currently, with hands that are on fire. What would you like to do?
I'm going to unmount myself.
Okay.
And move a little bit slower toward her, making sure that there's no I don't know the non-threatening thing to do, but
I'm
right. So I think this is interesting. Like, you get off your horse and you're walking towards her, and the backdrop is between you and her. There's this field of flowers, where like pollen is rising up. There's like petals floating through the air, and behind her there are still things rising up, but it's ash. it's like ash and smoke rising into the air. This is weird, like, what's happening here scene going on with the environment.
So, Adewald will try to be sort of indicate he's being non-threatening and then yell back. Why do you not speak to us in our common tongue?
How do you indicate you're non-threatening? You're in full armor with weapons.
I mean, sort of hands up, sort of the usual kind of calm down. I mean, sort of that whole universal "we mean you no harm" sort of thing.
Yeah, and she knows who we are. We scream out like Lady Jenna.
She might not know who I am.
Yeah, or Kathleen.
I mean, she certainly would recognize me. I've been around long enough.
Yeah, she's still continuing to shout at you in Irish.
So the fact that I yelled back, "Why do you not speak to us in a language we understand, my lady?"
Speak English. Oh.
I do not know if she can speak it right now. I feel like
she says "Cada dian in tu exist tame a glabret English."
I have no idea what you just said.
She's saying, "What do you mean? I am speaking English." But you don't understand that.
I don't know what's... Can you understand us?
Yeah, she's like nodding now, and she's just like waving her hands like, no. Like, she's like nodding yes, and then she's like, no, don't come closer.
Are you unable to control yourself?
She nods her head again.
Will you have memories of this when you return to the castle?
She nods her head again.
May we speak to you about it then? See if I can phrase it in a way that's less like invasive.
She's trying to like hand language with you right now, and still like pouring words out in Irish towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Sir Adewald?
Well, I certainly have no wish to forcibly subdue the lady, and it seems as if that would be necessary in order to stop whatever she is doing. Perhaps the best course of action is to let her blow out, just finish whatever this bout of madness is, and then speak to her once she is calmed down.
Are you close enough for her to hear what you're saying right there?
I mean,
I demounted and moved closer.
Yeah, but I want to know specifically, can she hear what Adewald just said? Mm-hmm. How close are you, Adewald?
I mean, probably at a distance where she would need to make an awareness check to fully hear what I said, because
Okay.
it's
I'll
where
accept
you
that.
could hear if I yelled it clearly.
Yeah, actually, she doesn't. She needed 10. Okay, yeah, she doesn't really hear what you're saying, so she doesn't hear you say bout of madness. Which someone might take as really insulting. Especially someone currently sheathed in flame. Yeah, so I think the last thing you said to her specifically was, can we speak with you back at the castle about this? And she's just, like, pacing back and forth right now. And as she does, like, her dress is leaving, like, a trail of embers behind her. So, like, everywhere she steps... So she's walking onto, like, fresh grass and flowers, and, like, behind her is this trail of, like, dead, flaming stuff.
Yeah. Marcus, being Christian, might actually think that's pretty fucking satanic. I don't know if you think that.
You want to make a religion roll of some kind here?
Sure, I'll
Yeah, I
make one too.
think. I mean, that just seems pretty, like, burning, like, just fire is quite, you know.
Yeah,
Religion has
demonic
never
possession or something going on there.
Religion has never been high in my family.
Knowledge religion or the skill religion?
Skill religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't have that very high.
Nope.
Actually, it's quite
I
religious.
feel like all
but-
of you are just going to start accusing her of being a Satanist.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
that was
rolling
so
because I
close to
feel
knowing
like-
that.
Boy.
That was so close.
I'm choosing
Irish possession by the Irish.
Yeah, Irish demon. That's
Yeah,
why
all of you are like, you have no idea
haven't
what's
you
going
ever
on
heard
here.
that gingers have no souls?
Does her Civ at least seem a little bit earnest and not trying to brand her satanic?
Yeah, so no one sees anything particularly satanic here, but you do, like, demonic possession crosses your mind. Either way, this definitely isn't a Christian power. You know what? I think probably all of you get the idea that this is probably, like, Saxonish or something. Like, collectively, you're all talking and you're all so wrong that you convince yourselves, yeah, it's probably Saxonish.
So, are we agreed that we speak to her at the castle? Or does anyone else have a suggestion?
She's still worried about whether she's willing to speak to us at the castle. Because she's pacing back and forth still.
Yeah,
So-
she hasn't really given you an answer on that.
I will yell out, is there any way that we might be of aid to you, milady?
She kind of sighs and just throws her hands up, and as she does, like, the fire goes out. And she just kind of walks in a circle for a while and just starts just like, no, you can't be of any help to me. Just go away.
Oh, so we can finally understand her.
Yeah, now that the fire's out, she seems to be speaking English again.
All right, so now that the fire's out, we'll ride up to her. And
Okay.
Okay.
milady, what brought about these strange circumstances?
Yeah, like when you say that, her hands start flaming again, and she just starts, like, speaking in Irish, and she just looks really frustrated, and she's rolling her eyes and, like, stamping her feet.
Is there any... I'll speak aloud to Sir Marcus, as he is the most learned man among us. Is there any man in our county who might have any knowledge of these things? I feel far out of my depth in trying to diagnose this problem.
Who says it's a problem? I don't know what's going on, but that doesn't...
Yeah. When you call it a problem, like, her flames go blue again, and she just looks at you like,
My apologies, my
very
lady,
well.
but burning down the forest and speaking in tongues does seem at least inconvenient.
But doesn't this forest seem abnormal to start with? I'm very confused as to the entire situation here, and it seems like she's in full control. I don't I don't know enough to call it a problem or not. I agree with you in finding
I
help,
thought she
but
nodded that she couldn't control herself.
it seemed like she could remember everything and that she was out here for a reason. It'd be much better if we had Lady Jenna give us answers more directly, though.
Mm-hmm. It would be nice.
I haven't heard Colleen or Marcus speak much. I guess
Until-
not.
Appears that they won't speak much on this.
Yeah.
Colin just does not know what is happening or what to do. He has seen nothing like this and is just completely confused by this.
Yeah, I have no idea what to do because it's not something he can hid away, and I know nothing of what I should be directing my efforts towards. But as a man of God, perhaps there is some learned man back at the castle or in the county that we might consult on such strange matters.
Well, obviously there's Merlin, but he just left England.
Yes, but
I feel like there's probably a skill for knowing if there is such a person. You look over a character sheet.
I mean, I could ask around potentially, but
Maybe like recognize or heraldry, something like that. A skill to know people.
sure.
I think heraldry is more the general knowing about people rather than recognizes being able to tell who a person
Why don't you
is.
guys, if anyone interested, can roll recognize to see if they know anyone who is some sort of either someone involved with magic or just knows of it, like some sort of lorist. Yeah, fail, and critical fumble. Okay, yeah, actually, Aidwald, you do know somebody.
Wow. How good.
Her name is Hextia. She is the Witch of Sarum. She lives like 10 miles south of Sarum Castle. She's like a forest hedge witch. She's like the only magic user you know. But she, like, they say that she kills children and skins them and puts them in her pot. No one's ever been able to prove anything, but basically when anything bad happens, everyone's like, oh, must have been Hexia. My cow died, Hextia. But whenever they get like a rampaging horde to go after her, something happens on the way there and they go home. They're like, oh, I tripped and stubbed my toe, must have been Hexia. Whoa, she's using the magic of the forest against us, causing us to stumble in the dark of the night while we're drunk.
Are you saying that this is the equivalent of the Thanks Obama meme? Thanks, Estia.
Well, no, but this is like a common thing. I guess Thanks Obama is what it's evolved into, but this is like an old trope, right? Like where everybody's like, oh, blame the old woman who lives in the woods for all of our problems. Or when someone's like, I cast a dying curse upon the land, and then they die, and then everyone's like, oh, my cow died? Must be the curse. Oh, I lost a coin on my way to London town. Must be the curse. Yeah, so everyone blames Hextia the witch. But no one's ever been able to do anything about it. And honestly, it's not, I mean, the rest of you haven't really heard that much about Hextia, but it doesn't ever sound like she ever uses magic in the Merlin sense with like illusions or anything. People just say that she uses magic, but no one's ever actually seen it. So, what's the plan? You've still got a very angry, what is she now, 19? But 19-year-old Lady Jenna setting everything on fire. Very upset that you said that what she had was a mistake.
That Aidwald said. I feel like, should I roll a courtesy again to try to keep her calm? Because
Yeah,
I've been
I feel like
trying
that would
to.
be okay.
I did one earlier, but
I didn't catch that. Let me see.
oh yeah, it was up higher.
How far was it? Yeah, you got fine. Yeah, she probably has calmed down a bit.
I did that when I was first moving up to her.
Yeah, go ahead and check mark courtesy, I guess.
If we could speak to you more at length later, perhaps we can dissuade Adewald from calling such a thing a problem or seeking help. He is. I don't know him well, but I do know that he's the kind of knight not to let something like this go.
Yeah, she just throws her hands up in frustration and nods her head. And then just like, she's like flexing her hands in and out into fists and just like,
Maybe I'll look to my senior knights, including the Adewald who's not here. May we leave Lady Jennifer now?
I cannot see any other solutions to the problem for now.
And speak to her later. Very well. It's still waiting for Adewald to get back to decide, but it sounds to me like we're going to move back to the castle and talk to her when she's not busy.
okay, all right.
If Anosh can confirm.
Sir Marcus, are you
Yeah.
there?
Yes, just muted and talking to myself and wondering why no one's talking to me.
What did we miss out on?
Well, first he was really tempted to go and attack her. So, yeah, he was just like, and when you talk about how like she could be the demon thing, that everyone's just like, oh, my cow died. It's probably,
Talking about Hexia, yeah.
Hexia, yeah. And like we're not sure if she's Hexia, right? I'm guessing.
Oh
with
no,
Adewald.
she's definitely Hexia's been alive longer than she's been alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we
I
have
mean,
no idea.
Hexia is like an old woman. They're
They
definitely
just
not
asked
the
her why
same
she's
person
burning.
if that's what you're guessing.
Yeah, I think no one's really asked her why she's burning everything yet.
No, no one has asked that. But even if you
Which is-
did, she'd only respond in Irish, which none of you speak.
That's why I said
Yeah.
that we're going to meet her at the castle to speak at length later.
And did she see? Yeah, okay, cool.
Basically because Adewald won't let this go if we don't talk to her.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Marcus doesn't want to like march up onto a crazy Irish-speaking napalm lady who could just kill them all like with her hands.
No, say this in character.
She's like, "Yeah, Marcus is not going to be scared, but he is."
Marcus ain't afraid. Marcus never back down. Okay. Does anyone mind if we just teleport this whole scene to the castle then?
Silence.
Typically, to a question like that, there's either a yes or a no.
I feel like silence is no opposite.
Sure.
Okay, fine. Yep, we teleport. Chesterfield is returned back to the kennel master. And I think it's probably the next day at lunch where you're invited to an audience with Lady Jenna in like her private tower.
Just got back.
Okay, well then, good time to get back. So yeah, there's probably a bustling like, not like a handmaiden, but like a head servant of the castle, like a head female servant, and she's very matronly and like, oh well, just you're going to see her, lady. Just try not to say anything to make her too upset. She's been having a very fiery temperament lately. So if you could just be very calm, keep your presence here brief, everything will be just quite all right. And she's like ushering you into the room, but it looks like she really just wants to like throw you back out it. And it's probably, you know, if you've ever watched the show Merlin, it's probably like one of the chambers from that show. Just, you know, like a 20 by 30 room with some stuff in it. You know, a bed and a table and like a dresser and some like screens to like mark off the dressing area. And she's like standing by a window like eating an apple when you come in. And like the sun is like hitting her so that it's silhouetted, and her hair seems a little fiery for a moment, but then you get that it's just in your imagination. It's just, you know, the color of her hair with the sun. You donate 28 denarii. That's quite a bit.
We wouldn't have found her without the dog. She deserves that much.
I guess I will start by trying to be really, really courteous and keep her calm. So,
Okay. Well, why
kinda
don't you make a
setting-
courtesy roll? Yeah.
Yay!
What do you say immediately upon entering?
Well, I guess I get to the point a little too quickly. So probably do a little bit of.
Oh, seriously? Seriously?
So I'm trying to skirt the point, but I don't, and so it's like, my lady Jenna, sorry to disturb you at this hour, but might you be able to tell me why you were burning down the countryside?
Yeah, so I think the head servant is probably still there when you do that, and she immediately like hits you with something on her way out the door. And Marcus, what do you say that's so upsetting with your failed courtesy roll? Did you mute yourself again?
Yeah, sorry. Yep.
So,
Well,
I mean, what are
basically-
you saying that could be construed as upsetting?
Yeah, so I guess I see Edward like trying to say something, and then I try to interject, and just like, oh, lady, and he's just like, why were you burning everything? And maybe that's not the right thing to say.
All right, Colleen. Unlike your supposed superiors, you
Yeah,
actually
come
still
on,
have
guys.
some measure of decorum. What do you say?
I have no idea what's that mean, but lady, could you please tell us how this all happened? Why you are doing all these things?
Okay, yeah, so she goes to sit down, and, like, as Sir Adewald and Sir Marcus are talking to her, you guys get, like, this brief scent of something, and when she puts the apple down on the table, you notice it's, like, baked. And it wasn't before, when you first came in. And she, like, smooths her dress out and sits down and turns toward basically just Colleen and says, yes, well, it would seem that I have magic. And a very rare type of magic, not often seen in the counties. I'm told that elsewhere, specifically Persia and Asia and occasionally in Ireland, some have been seen with the ability to create destructive forces. Most magic, as you know, is limited to tricks of the mind, fog, illusions, healing, miracles, and that kind of thing. But my magic is a curse. Difficult to control.
Huh.
And she, like, puts her hands in her lap and just kind of stares at them.
Pray tell, my lady, has someone laid this curse upon you? Or
She says, I know not, Sir Adewald. I have no idea from where this curse originated from. I was hoping to speak with the wizard Merlin, but as you know, he is a wanted criminal and a dastardly fiend, and he is not a Christian man. So I dare not speak to him directly. I had also hoped to speak with the sage Pertones, but in my brief counsel with him, it was clear to me that he has no knowledge of magic. And so I know not who I could go to without being considered, and it's like she just kind of trails off. Please, you aren't going to tell my mother, are you?
nay, my lady, we shall not betray your confidence. In fact, should you require it, we will happily go forth and inquire of other learned gentlemen, while, of course, keeping your name confidential in order to attempt to figure how to lift this dire
So, Adewald,
curse.
did you not mention that of Hestia as being a possible lead?
Yeah, when you mention Hexia, Lady Jenna's like, who is